Have you ever wondered how big corporations trick you into buying their products? Well, today we're going to show you every hidden marketing trick you don't notice. These tricks are used by all major corporations in order to make you buy more stuff from them. Once you know about these tricks, you won't be fooled by them anymore. Let's start with one of the most basic tricks that supermarkets use: shelf placement. Have you ever wondered why your favorite cereal is always at the same place when you go to the supermarket? The reason why companies place products at the same spot every time is because they want you to develop a habit of choosing their product over the competitors. Habits are very powerful because they get you to do things without you even thinking. If you take the example of brushing your teeth, you probably do it without even thinking about what you're doing. You just do it. That's what habits do. Companies want you to develop a habit of choosing their product over the competitors. In order to do that, they repeat the process until it becomes a habit for you. At first, you might have picked a different cereal than the one that the company wants you to pick. But after seeing it in the same position again and again, it eventually became a habit for you to choose that cereal. This is the same for almost everything that you buy. Your brain loves shortcuts. So instead of thinking about the pros and cons of each product when you go to the supermarket, you just grab whatever product is placed close to you and you put it in your basket. That's why companies try to make their products stand out. For example, if you look at this picture, you will see that this particular brand of milk has an eye-catching design compared to the other brands of milk. Even though all the other brands of milk are exactly the same, you would most likely grab the eye-catching carton of milk because your brain loves shortcuts. The color red. Have you ever noticed that the color red is used everywhere in fast food restaurants? Well, there's a reason why the color red is used everywhere in fast food restaurants. The color red grabs your attention, makes you feel excited, and it makes you feel hungry. A study was conducted by researchers at the University of Michigan, and they found out that people who were exposed to the color red performed better on tests that measured excitement and arousal. They also found out that the color red increased levels of testosterone and adrenaline. This means that the color red makes you feel more excited and more hungry, which is exactly what fast food companies want you to feel. That's why you will see the color red everywhere in fast food restaurants. Decoy pricing. Have you ever seen a product with a high price tag, but then there is another product with a much higher price tag next to it? Well, that second product with the higher price tag is not there by mistake. It is called decoy pricing. Decoy pricing is a marketing technique where companies intentionally overprice a product so that it acts as a reference point for consumers. Scarcity and urgency. Have you ever seen a pop-up window while you were browsing online saying that only 2 items are left or that the deal will expire soon? Well, those are scarcity and urgency tactics. Scarcity and urgency tactics make you feel like you need to buy the product right now before it's too late. These tactics work because they trigger something in our brain called FOMO, which stands for fear of missing out. A study conducted by researchers at the University of Chicago found that people are more likely to buy a product if they feel like there is a risk of losing it. So the next time you see a pop-up window saying that only 2 items are left in stock or that the deal will expire soon, just remember that it's a marketing tactic and don't fall for it. Social proof. Have you ever noticed that when you're at a restaurant, you're more likely to order the most popular dish? Well, that's because of something called social proof. Social proof is a psychological phenomenon where people are more likely to do something if they see other people doing it. This is why restaurants are more likely to tell you that a certain dish is our most popular dish because they want you to order it. They know that if you see other people eating it, you're more likely to order it as well. You see, we are social creatures and we look to other people for guidance on what to do. We want to be like other people, so we copy what they do. This is what social proof is taking advantage of. Companies will show you the number of people who have bought a certain product in order to convince you to buy it as well. For example, let's say you're on an e-commerce website and you see a dress that 100 women have bought. You're more likely to buy it because you think that if 100 women have bought it, it must be good. But in reality, that number is made up. Companies just want you to buy more stuff. So don't fall for it. Authority bias. Have you ever noticed that you're more likely to believe a celebrity than an average person? Well, that's because of something called authority bias. Authority bias is a cognitive bias that causes us to give more weight to the opinions of authority figures. This is why we are more likely to believe celebrities than average people. We think that because they are famous and successful, they must know what they're talking about. But in reality, they have no idea what they're talking about. They're just being paid to promote a certain product. That's why you should be careful of who you trust, just because someone is famous or successful. doesn't mean that they know what they're talking about. Retargeting. Have you ever visited a website and then you saw ads of that website on Facebook or Google? Well, that's because of something called retargeting. Retargeting is a marketing technique where companies show ads to people who have visited their website. For example, let's say you visited an e-commerce website and you saw a dress that you liked. That e-commerce website will collect your data, and then it will show you ads of that dress on Facebook or Google. The goal of retargeting is to make you buy the product that you saw on the website. You see, companies know that if you saw a product that you liked, you're more likely to buy it if you see an ad of that product later on. That's why retargeting is so effective. But the good news is that you can turn off retargeting in your Google and Facebook settings. Dark patterns. Have you ever been on a website and you tried to leave, but then you got a pop-up window asking you to stay? Well, that's because of something called dark patterns. Dark patterns are website design elements that are intended to trick users into doing something that they didn't intend to do. For example, let's say you're on a website and you want to cancel your subscription. Click the button to cancel your subscription, but then you get a pop-up window asking you to stay. The goal of that pop-up window is to make you stay on the website and not cancel your subscription. You see, companies want to make it difficult for you to cancel your subscription so they can make more money from you. The good news is that there are laws against dark patterns in some countries. Infinite scroll. Have you ever been on a website and you scrolled down and then more content appeared? Well, that's because of something called infinite scroll. Infinite scroll is a website design element that loads more content as the user scrolls down the page. For example, let's say you read on a social media website and you scroll down and then more posts appear. The goal of infinite scroll is to make you stay on the website longer. You see, companies want you to stay on their website as long as possible so they can make more money from you. The good news is that you can turn off infinite scroll in your browser settings. Identity selling. Have you ever bought something just because it made you feel good about yourself? That's because of something called identity selling. Identity selling is a marketing technique where companies sell products based on the identity that they represent. For example, let's say you're a fitness enthusiast and you see a protein powder that says it is made for athletes. You're more likely to buy that protein powder because it makes you feel like an athlete. You see, we all want to feel like we belong to a certain group, and companies know that. That's why they use identity selling to make you buy their products. Now, if you enjoyed this video, watch this video next to level up. See you next time.